Welcome back to the Talos Principle. I'm Dear Darling, and who are we? What's our purpose? Why don't we answer these questions together as I sort of don't totally remember what I was doing in Talos Principle. Well, I mean, apart from the grand scheme of solving puzzles, but it seems like we're going on to World 3, and we'll just, continue to do our best in this new and very unfamiliar world.
Chaos, there were other gods.
Oh, what do you do to them?
Old gods. But for all their power, they could not save their world. Thus,
it's a bit of a scary story.
made, and I shall preserve this world forever.
Oh,
for
you must be referring
and
to the
your
scientist who created
generations.
this
That
world, right?
is my purpose.
And you are the overseer, kind of a world. Get out of it, mouse. The one to preserve it forever, which is why we're still here. Post 437. Like everyone else on the internet these last days, I just want to say bye, and thanks for reading my little blog for so many years. It's been fun, hasn't it? So many deep conversations, so much philosophy. Okay, it was mostly cat pictures and bad puns, but still, I kind of regret not spending so much time at the computer. Not when I was doing stuff, just over sitting around, checking my emails a million times, reading pointless status updates by people I didn't like. But I don't regret the friends I made here, or the laughs we had. You're good people, and I'm glad I got to know you. Have a nice end of the world. So, totally psyched for the end of the world. I mean, that's just good life, I suppose, like, do things that you don't regret, kind of, maybe, but also be nice. Hold on, don't follow sweeping general statements and take it as your life mantra. Idea for a universal history of a cosmopolitan purpose. It remains strange that the earlier generations seem to perform their toilsome labour only for the sake of the later ones, to construct them from a step from which they can raise higher the edifice nature intended. Only the latest of all generations have the luck to inhabit the edifice that a long line of their ancestors, I don't know why this is so difficult for me to read, unintentionally constructed. Count Emmanuel, as puzzling as this may be, it is equally necessary if one assumes the following: a species of animal possesses reason, and must develop its capacity to its perfection, being individually mortal but immortal in the species. So something about humanity being grateful when people plant trees in the shade that they'll never rest in. Something like that. Ariana's blog, entry 477. Holy humble brag, Batman. I've always known that God maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. Matthew 5:45. But I must admit, it's one thing to know the words and another to truly understand them. Though I'm certain that my faith is true, that does not make me special, exempt me from suffering. I'm just another human being, and God has seen billions of us come and go. I have to say, this is surprisingly hard to accept. I always thought I was humble, but now I'm realising that I was very proud of being humble, which is really dumb, because I'm not the first one to do that, huh? Tags hashtag regret, hashtag pride, hashtag faith, hashtag humble brag, hashtag apology, hashtag Batman. Good old Tumblr, which is still a thing, but certainly past its heyday. Let's see what Alexandra's got to say.
I worry that the answers I embrace are too simple.
Wait a second.
Can we ever truly fully understand the divide between our biology
Oh, I
and
thought
our
that was a yellow
intellect? How much is
Taxonomy.
nature, how much is nurture?
Who
If my
knows?
intellectual capabilities
quarantine.
and my knowledge were replicated in a machine, would that machine be me? Would it be human? And what would be more humbling to my ego? If the answer was yes, or if the answer was no? What if I'm making too many assumptions?
Who knows?
But there's no time to worry about my ego now. There's work to be done.
What? But this is just a switch to turn on and off a fan. Also, a very open-ended level, you noticed? You can sort of just... if you wanted to, you could just, walk out off the cliff if you so desired. There's a terminal up there, you see that? The heck? Is that a terminal? Am I losing my mind? That's a hat? I don't think that's a terminal, the more I look at it. We cannot bring you around town. That's okay. We need to get connector number 1, which is that one. So this is why it's called Jammer Quarantine, because this Jammer is quarantined. Unsurprisingly. And we should try and get the second connector. Wait, that's not a connecting thing. Hold on a minute. What are we even trying to do? Where's the puzzle piece? Where's the glyph, as it's called, I believe. But I keep calling it the Tetronomos. I don't even know where it is. I suppose we can do this to get the other connector, because we need 2 connectors, don't we? Have a prayer session. Where is it? Is it up in there? Why do we have his fan? It certainly seems like there's going to be some oh, sorry. I don't know why I just apologised to the 50-foot drop. There's going to be some like sort of interdimensional puzzle solving. The fact that this entire world seems so open. I don't even know where we're going though. Wait, like, where? Oh, here it is. I see. Okay, so yes, this one is almost certainly a setup for some other one. We need more connectors because we probably get the block and then we put it on here with a connector and it shines a laser for a different stage to use. That's my assumption. This music's quite nice. So that's where the puzzle connector is. I'm trying to think how we're going to do this laser. The jammer can't get out of here. At least I cannot see of a way for it to get out. So we're gonna have to have one laser thing here and one around here. We have a cube to. Oh no, we hold this upwards. I see. So we actually do need this of this level. We hold it upwards with a cube, and then we use the other connector to connect to it. If I understand it correctly. Sorry, that might not make much sense. There's a lot of sort of repeating patterns. We might as well just connect it with everything for. Well, really no apparent reason, but might as well if we're here. Just connect it to absolutely everything. And then actually turn it on. That sends it flying in the air, which we can probably use from other levels. But more importantly, we need a jammer to actually continue jamming that. Oh, do we? Wait a second. Wait. No, we don't. Forgive that interruption. On pause. How do we get out of this? What were we doing? Yes, we're trying to figure out how to get the connector through two things at once. We need something to hold down the button. Hold on, maybe we set it up in. We set up. No, hold on, we can't set it up first. Yes, we can set it up first. Okay, I see. We need to do this in reverse order. So come back down to Earth. Because we need you, Cube, to hold down the thing. We put the connector over there. We get this connector to connect to it. No. Yes. No. Wait, does this make sense? I'm not sure if this makes sense. We need to keep both of these open. Yes. Okay. I think this does make sense. I hope it makes sense. It might not make sense. We should have. So something about here should work. Then we grab the other connector. I think it should work. This is because we'll connect them up first and then put the cube on, and then put it on the cube and then move the cube. Okay. Yes, that seems reasonable. Might as well just again connect it up to everything. Not that we particularly need to, but we can. And I believe that putting it on the cube and then picking up the cube should not reset any of its connections, and if it does, then this plan's not going to work, but... Ah. We need a way to keep you open. We need another piece to weigh down the button. Do we need another piece to weigh down the button? Okay, so I'm going to talk out, if you've not been following along, what the problem is. The problem is that I don't know how we can either set this one up first and then have both these doors open to put that other connector down, because we only have, from then on, we only have one jammer, one connector to open both these gates with. Or the problem is, if we set up that one first, I don't know how we can then set up this one while keeping this connected with this button pressed. Okay, I think it made more sense to do it the other way around. There's probably something here which I've just not quite internalized. The fact there's a laser receptor on this one. could suggest something. Like, if that one's up in the air, we could open it like that, and then what? We would open it up with this connector, but we couldn't walk through while holding the connector. So, this is not the part I expected to be difficult of this level. This very much feels like an order issue. Once I figured out exactly what order we need to do things with. Okay, so if we jam this one... If only there was a way to get this jammer out of here. Maybe there is. I mean, I feel like you could do something with like the cube and sort of like do some weird sort of hop over it, because I can't imagine there isn't some sort of weird glitch thing like that. It just sort of gives me real portal energy. But that doesn't seem like an intended solution. Doesn't make sense to put this beacon up first. That's what I'm dubbing these connectors held up by fans and blocks. Does it make sense to light the beacon and send it upwards? I find it interesting we have a switch. Why do we... Oh, we have a switch because otherwise we wouldn't be able to bring down the connector once we put it up. So if we bring this upwards, you know, we've opened that with a jammer. What we really want is we want the jammer over here, but unfortunately we couldn't. That would be a bit too easy. But a thing we can do is we can, of course, do this. Is this helpful? Not particularly. Not particularly. The solution's probably not something like there's another piece I'm missing here. This feels like an order issue. Okay, bring this back down. How can we set both of these up? We could walk through now. No, we couldn't. So we can't break this connector with the way we've got things currently set up. How can we open two gates with one jammer, one connector, which we need to bring with us? Didn't mean to block that, but I'm not sure. There must be something I'm missing here. I'm not sure why there's all these other blue things about. I guess it's intended for you to use the connector rather than a jammer for them. The connector can open both gates at once, but what's the point of a jammer then? We could put the connector here and connect it up to that. Then why do we need a jammer? Probably shouldn't do it like this, because now our connector's actually trapped in there. And I guess if we... for a second there I thought that was it. I thought we could unjam it from this side. Does it? I feel like we should set the one up near the gold at the end, but I can't figure out how we can... Okay, if we set up this one by that blue receiver here, we can exit out, but we had to do it basically in one smooth motion. We put the connector here. We don't need this gate to be open if that connector's already set up. I see. I think. So we have a jammer just hold open that one. And then... Wait. No, because we need the cube to hold down the block. No, we don't, do we? Maybe? I'm getting really confused. Hold on.
If the answer does not come to you, do
Elahim.
not despair.
Get out of here.
The worlds of my garden are many.
Elahim, not the time. We need this... No, this doesn't make any sense. We need to basically... I can't figure out... Okay, hold on. So pretend that's a cube holding it down. We've taken the connector. We've put it here. Okay, good. We've connected this up. We cannot see that connector from here. Can we see the connect... What if we put it there? Can we see the connector through there? Can we interact with it? No, I don't think we can interact with things through the grilled bars. Wow, I spent so long on this one. I probably should just leave and come back to it, but I'm at a loss. Maybe my brain isn't totally warmed up yet with what I should do. Okay, if I put the connector there, I only need to be here to click on it, and then I need to be able to immediately walk over to here and put it down while connecting it to the laser. So that means the cube must be here already. There's a problem. Isn't this the point of a jammer? The jammer's meant to hold this open. Right? Hold on, I think we put the cube down to open it for now, and then use the jammer to hold it open. Okay, yes, because we need the cube. We need the cube here. We use... Okay, got it. Sorry, too many things. Okay, we use the cube at first because we need the cube and the jammer to open both doors. But then when we only need one door open, we just use the jammer, and we put the cube back where it needs to be. Then with one door open, we can put the connector down and then connect the connectors up with the cube in its proper place. Okay, that makes sense. How are we going to get through the door? How are we going to collect it afterwards? Oh my god, how are we going to get through? Because we need to come back through here. I didn't think it through. I thought that was a solution. That's not a solution. Okay, well, I mean, while we're thinking about this, we might as well try it, so we can maybe there's something I missed, which has an easy solution. How are we going to get back through this door? I don't know. Is the problem. Because while it's fine just to connect it up like that, when we're not going to be able to make it back through. What a nuisance. Not like this game is, but like this puzzle. How can this be so tediously difficult? It's such a deceivingly simple puzzle. I mean, maybe you can see that connector from over there. I don't know. I honestly, I just got to hope you can. Otherwise, this solution won't work. Oh, perfect, you can. Okay, that was going to be worrying for a second. Oh wait, we could have just done it like this. We didn't have to set it up in such a weird order. I'm so dumb. I very much overcomplicated this entire puzzle, but you know, sometimes that happens. That's the beauty of puzzle games. That's the beauty of puzzle games, is sometimes you just vastly overcomplicate things when really they were just as simple as could be. Extreme persistence detected. Okay, I apologise for that one. That one was not a good showing on me, but I'm just going to be like, I was warming up or something. We'll just do this one because this one's a lot closer. I can't bother to walk over there yet. 3 little connectors and a fan. But that's the beauty of these puzzles. The aha moment, as it's dubbed. Okay, so it's tantalisingly in reach. 3 little connectors and a fan. I assume this powers up the fan. This will allow us to get a bit of a high ground, see exactly what's going on. Oh my word, that is a lot of walls. Okay. Well, the only thing we can really start off with is by putting you here and seeing what we get access to. Which is another connector. And a window. Interesting. We can connect these two up like this. Allow us through to get a cube, which we can now use to replace that connector with this. And I assume get the laser shining through even further. I wonder what our ultimate goal is. Wait a minute. Maybe we don't do that. Maybe we set up a connector like this so we have a mobile beacon at all times. Shining above, which we... Oh no, hold on. How do we get through the door? Yeah, good point. Okay, good point. Not that yet. I mean, it's possible we could just use a fan instead of a cube here. If we need the cube later, I don't know. But for now, keep things simple. This level's called 3 connectors and a fan. So we need to find a 3rd connector. That you would say is quite paramount if it's part of a solution. Okay, well, I don't know why we're coming all the way out here. Are we seriously coming all the way out here just for a single cube? Okay, we need a connector here. I see. Well, I suppose this is a bit of an interesting thing because we can cut out the middleman in one of these parts. Can we? No, we wouldn't be able to get over there anymore. I mean, we have access to 3 connectors. I think now we can set up the beacon, right? Because now we have an extra block to hold down the button with. So I think this connector is actually a bit of a dupe. It shouldn't be a connector, it's a cube for now. Until we can get further into the maze and get that second cube sitting there to hold down this for us. That's my assumption. I don't know if it's right yet, of course. These sort of things, you never really know until you try them. But this is basically the sort of jammer strategy we normally have. Oh, you can't see that? Okay, well, we'll grab another connector and set you up first, and then we'll do that. I hope this works. I didn't realise you wouldn't be able to see that thing. I'm not sure if you can actually still. Even if we do this, you still can't see it, can you? What if if you get raised up, can you? Okay, you can. Perfect. Then we use this connector as a block, and we use this one as a way to get through. I suddenly see the flaw in my plan. Because how am I going to progress now? I need another connector, but I don't have access to another connector. Okay, so this, I think I've jumped the gun a bit. I think this is not what we're meant to do yet. So take a fan, take a block. In fact, if we don't need to use a fan yet, this is what we'll do with it. I think for now we should probably just focus on getting through how we should get through. I did not realise this one could actually reach both of those things at once. So that's probably what I didn't realise. No, does that make sense? Hold a minute, we need another connector still. I shouldn't say need. Because that was got either a lot harder or I got a lot badder? Worse. Both very plausible. So we can use you to... Theoretically, we could use you to open this, which is completely fine. Now, what am I missing? How do I get a laser through here? Perhaps we are meant to use the fan thing, because we're not using a cube right now, are we? Once we get a jammer, things become significantly easier. How can we... We need to take out a connector somehow. Perhaps... The fact we got this here suggests to me... Put one there. What? Forgive the pause again. Keep getting interrupted. Sorry, what I was in the middle of saying is that this window here suggests to me that we should be using this window to unlock this one. That doesn't really help, does it? That would basically mean we move this connector. So we put that connector which is there, we'd put it here. This connector here we'd put like here, and then the third connector we just put that. It's just moving the third connector backwards. That doesn't seem very helpful. What we need is I feel like it must be using that sort of beacon. Somehow. But I can't figure out how to set up the beacon and also get through. We need another block for that. Or do we? Am I overcomplicating this again? Possibly. Let's think. Okay, if we were to get a laser there, we're forced to put one laser here because something has to see the receiver. Interestingly, you can see that from there. Is this just a game of angles? Can you open this? And then you also simultaneously open this, and this one? I think I just overcomplicated it. No, this doesn't solve it still. Because how are we going to get laser here? Ah. Why is this so difficult? If we have a laser there, assuming we don't use a beacon, that forces a laser to be somewhere along here. Oh, wait. That's what this window's here for. We set up one here. Yes, I see. Let's take over from this one. I didn't mean to connect it with that one as well, but I suppose if it works, it works. And then it's sort of like the beacon trick. Are you kidding me? I put it slightly out of position. It's not like the beacon trick we usually do. Not beacon, the jammer trick we usually do. Where we use one jammer to open the door, then we switch around to making the other jammer do it. Ah, it's just so obvious in retrospect, but I suppose every puzzle solution does once you know the answer. It just... Oh, wait a minute. Does this even help? It does help because we've got two through here and we don't need to hold that door open anymore. We can instead just put this one here. Well, theoretically, if I put it in the correct place, we could put this one here instead. And then use a connector to get through to this one. Alright, progress. Now we have access to a jammer and a cube. I think probably the most straightforward is just use a jammer here. And then we finally use the beacon technique. To do what exactly? Okay, we use one connector there. I think we use a combination of a beacon and a jammer together to allow us through, and this cube just holds down the first thing. So let's get everything out. I think. Does that make sense? If we have a beacon there, hold on, let's think about this. A beacon there, put the cube down, we'll have access to two connectors and a jammer. To get through here, one connector connects and opens this. Lets us through. The other connector holds it open, so we can go through the other side, put the jammer down, we take the connector through, and we've got a connected jammer over in this area. We do the same trick again, connector through. Oh, we have a beacon, yeah, so we can access, we just connect the jammer through everything, I think. I think that makes sense. Okay, we're going to have to do a bit of running. Let's get everywhere again. Does this make sense? This would be a really bad time to find out we made a mistake somewhere. But I think that's a general idea. Is we use the sort of, I'm not going to call it the jammer trick, that seems a bit presumptuous, but the sort of the tag team jammers to hold open one. I'm just trying to think ahead, see if there's like a flaw in my plan, which almost certainly is. I just can't see it yet. It's a worrying part. I can't see anything else this cube and fan is meant to do except for this. I feel like if we're going to get a problem, we're going to run into a problem around here somewhere. Where we're going to try and use a connector and jammer. And we're not going to be able to make it through. I think the only problem arises if we can't see the beacon from one of the areas. And then we can't use the connector jammer trick. That is my assumption of where it will fail if it does. But this is okay for now. Just set you two up like this. Literally the only place I could have put it and I wouldn't have set it up. So we set you up like this with access to two beacons and a jammer, which is fine. That one should stay there. Maybe it doesn't need to, because we can get it out. Right, this is... Oh. The general idea is we do things like this while that jammer's holding it, and then we can bring the jammer through. If we hold this jammer open, we can now get through. I'm just trying to think this through. We can do the same technique as before, kind of. Here. There's a lot to think about, okay. And then we bring the second one through. I don't know if we need all of them. Jam that. Get the connector. Bring the connector through. Set up the next one. Using the beacon. So there's a lot of back and forth running, I'll certainly say, in this level. And then get the jammer, jam this door from the other side, bring the beacon through. Again, we could be doing this with just one beacon instead of, I keep calling them beacons, one connector instead of 2 connectors, but you know, just better safe than sorry. I don't want to get over here and be like, oh, we actually need 2 connectors for this part because of certain angles with a beacon. But it seems like we might be okay. Can you just select it, please? We can actually select things through grids, which I didn't realise. It's a tight angle. And then just take a jammer through and we good. I believe. This doesn't feel like the intended. What? Sometimes the fan bob's a bit too low and it can't get through. It doesn't matter. We would have been able to solve it anyway. If that didn't quite connect up because we have 2 connectors. That doesn't feel quite like the way you're meant to do it. But we did it, so I don't really know. But anyway, we'll have this episode of it. It was far longer than it needed to be. I feel like I got very stuck on some of those. But if you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been the Talos Principle. I've been Day Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join me Day Darling Discord. Follow me on Twitter down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.